Hello everyone. As you can see, I um, you know what? No, I'm not gonna make my review cosplaying or something like that. It's in the middle of we're in the middle of summer. Why the hell I'm wearing the snow jacket and this in a really hot day. What was I thinking? Well, I just did it for the thumbnail. Let's just go with it. But anyway, I just came back from watching Alpha, a movie that was supposed to come out last year. I saw the trailers and I was kind of intrigued watching it. It got me very curious. And then they said it was gonna come in March, and then they say it was gonna come in September, on August, and they finally released it. I'm kind of wondering why they had to delay it. Before I said what is my opinion on Alpha, I'm gonna say that while I'm a big animal lover, I think that I'm not exactly the biggest dog lover in the world. I'm more of a cat person. As you can see, I grew up with cats, and I did have some, let's say, off-color experience with dogs. I was pretty scared of them. Right now, it's all in the past. I do have a liking of dogs, but they're not kind of my type. I still very bothered when dogs bark at me because they surprise me. But I can see why many people consider dogs the man's best friend and all this stuff. I just forgot to put my trademark glasses here. But anyway, what else I can say? Yeah, I was talking about Alpha. I was very curious to watch this movie because technically it felt like it was some kind of different breed of dog movies. It's not like the typical Hollywood things I say that we love dogs, we adore dogs, dogs are the best of the world, so we're gonna turn them into detective karate, or they're gonna have some relationship with the children or something like that, or some stupid thing like this, like Show Dogs did. In this case, we're gonna they decided to tackle the Ice Age. We're having the story of survival between a young hunter and his newfound friendship with a wolf. Okay, maybe wolves are not as technically dogs, but they're just from the same family. They're canine, so it still counts. So I finally went there and seen the movie. And right on the get-go, I'm gonna say my personal opinion about Alpha. I absolutely love this movie. I really like this movie. It's not the typical summer blockbuster film that you're gonna see in this year. But now, come to think of it, that movie was supposed to come out at March, and boy, I think that it was a bad opportunity to make us feel for how can I say about this movie? I think that the timing on the movie coming out is a little bit bad, because with a movie that it was filmed in Alberta in cold weather, you might want to feel that you just want to stick your head on a refrigerator. It made me feel refreshed, and it feels weird to see a movie with so much cold, but we are enduring this heat wave. Well, we're in New Jersey, and even though I'm with the air conditioner, I still kind of feel like that. Okay, but besides the point, I absolutely really like this movie. It has a little bit of a slower pacing, but it earned it. it has some great acting, and there is not a single English word spoken. Yep, this movie is not in English. This movie is all the way is spoken in Native America. Because while it was, even though the movie was shot in Alberta, it still makes us believe that this is the Ice Age in the northern region, where the Native Americans, they have to survive, or in this case they go for hunting, to hunt whatever it comes into their path. Mammoths, saber-toothed tiger, buffalo, the words. And the movie sets it up in a way that it shows that living and survival is not that easy. You have your loved ones, and they have to pass ritual to show if they're ready to go hunting. And for the newbies, it comes off as kind of a little bit of a terrifying experience. And it shows. I mean, it shows even on the trailer that one of the guys get the bad luck of being hunted by a saber-toothed tiger. And well, if I have to put a little bit of a nitpick on the movie, it's technically the beginning, because the beginning it shows up with the hunters hunting the buffaloes, and then it feels like a climax, and when the good part kind of happens, then we get the one of the tiring tropes of 1 week earlier. Yeah, if you watch Rick and Morty, you're gonna know why this trope is kind of tiring. I mean, when that part came out, I just figured Morty saying, and I just figured out in my head having Morty say, "You like that? You like that? Do you want to come back to 1 week earlier?" I'm not gonna go into that. It's just a small nitpick. But it luckily wasn't the end of the movie. It kind of shows up that we're gonna go to that setting. We got our main character with this young boy, young, kind of like 22-year-old. His name is I have it in IMDb here. His name is Keta, or Kita, whatever how it's mentioned. He is the son of the chief. He goes on his first expedition, and unfortunately, during the buffalo hunt, he got knocked off of a cliff, and everyone thinks that he died, and they just return home. But unfortunately, he was alive. He was unconscious, and he just had his leg broken, and it's up to him to survive and try to remember the teachings that his father gave him in order to return home safely. And during his journey, he did manage to fend off a pack of wolves, and so it happens that he managed to injure one of the wolves, and he kind of took pity on that one, that so much that he decided to take care of its wounds. And little by little, both the wolf and the boy began to bond with each other, and I really liked the relationship, and it was a great relationship of a wild animal and a human who both has the means that they want to survive, and they kind of begin to figure out that both they have to work together to survive. Especially considering that he has to get to the village faster, or else he's gonna get caught on the upcoming winter, and that means lots of snow. If you watch too many movies on your life, you probably might go into some familiar territory, and especially when you can see that this is a survival movie mixed up with any dog movie that you can see. And in a way, you're probably right. It's still that kind of movie, but like again, I can find familiar territory forgivable in a way. This one took advantage of almost a lot of aspects that you find it admirable. First of all, one of the biggest strengths that this movie has is that it's beautiful looking. When you see the scenery, sometimes they go with special effects for the ambience or the atmosphere. The sky sometimes is magnificent. I really like that, and it's so much that some of the shots they kind of look like the pictures that you see on photography from professional artists. That one is a big plus on that. And I actually also really like that, unlike many dog movies, the relationship between the kid and the dog is not very campy or not hammy in a way or another. I know that it goes a little bit on fantasy territory because first of all we're talking about Ice Age, and second of all the bond between the kid and a wild wolf is technically a little bit unlikely. It could take a little bit more effort to that. And yeah, let's buy it that this is kind of like a fictitious story about how the relationship between man and wolf, and okay, man and dog are it developed. It's even the tagline kind of says, I got it here to say it directly. Experience the incredible story of how mankind discovered man's best friend. And it acts like that. The tagline builds on what it promised. And I also, again, I really like that there's a balance on the relationship. It's not like, for example, man abuses what the dog can do. Both they give and also take from each other what they on what the best of their abilities. That they share the food, they share the shelter, they tend to the wounds each other, and of course they have to face the dangers of nature. They have to deal with severe weather and predators and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna go so much into detail how the story goes on. It's something that you have to watch. It's probably one of the most. This movie is a total experience, and that you have to watch it. I just kind of wish that this movie was in IMAX in a way, or if it's an IMAX, I have no luck. This IMAX, the IMAX where the closest IMAX to my house is very far away. Oh, I wanna say an interesting trivia that I recently found out. Do you know that this is one of the few movies that it kind of says the typical line when it involves animals, saying that no animals were harmed during production? This movie doesn't have it. And you know why? Because I recently found out that on screen, they did manage to kill off, for reals, 4 buffaloes during production. And they used them for the scenes of skinning and all that stuff. Yeah, they did manage to kill buffaloes on this one. And that kind of brings me a little bit saying that, do you know that this movie is considered a family film? No, seriously, this movie is not rated R. Rated R. There's blood, but there's no gore. And you know what? I kind of like this. I kind of like that it shows the realities of someone being injured, of animals being killed. And they don't need it to push out by saying, oh, we're going to put it rated R just because there's a presence of blood. Do you hear that, Blumhouse? How dare you put rated R to Truth or Dare when it barely has gore? That's how you justify a PG, I think it was PG-13 film, and it shows blood and gore within acceptable levels. It kind of proves again that you don't need blood and gore to make a great movie, but still you have to play the elements right, especially with those idiots who censor movies that just because they're afraid of blood. So yeah, technically you can show that to your children. I think I have nothing else to talk about Alpha. And yeah, we have a very predictable movie, and but it has a small twist. I gotta say, it's just innocent twist at the end. But I'm not gonna reveal you. You just have to see it for yourself. So basically, what you're gonna get from watching this movie is technically a PG-13 version of The Revenant, but with a wolf. And now that I think of it, it kind of is like The Revenant, but instead of Leonardo DiCaprio being mauled by a bear, is this kid? Oh no, he's not a kid. He's this young adult being thrown down a cliff by a buffalo, and then he had to get home, not for revenge, but to finally get home to his to safety. And this time he has an unlikely ally with a dog, or with a wolf. A really, really weird coincidence that we got here. So there, that's all I have to say. Alpha, you really want to check it out. It's heartwarming. You can feel the experience. It's beautiful in the scenery, in my opinion. It's definitely gonna be one of my best movies of the year. And again, and this is from me being mostly a cat lover. But you know what? I do have soft spot for dogs now that I grew up to technically tolerate them and like them. I mean, here's a proof. This character is a dog from Freedom Planet, Mila Bassett. She is my favorite character from that indie game. So, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hug your dog.